I'm Scott Baio, and I'm on Loveline, coming up next.
Loveline is meant for an adult audience. Loveline may contain sexually oriented content.
Loveline. Viewer discretion advised.
Hey, welcome to Loveline. Tonight, our special guest is Scott Baio. I'm Diane Farr. Here are the boys, Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Oh, geez, I don't know.
What?
You know, I was supposed to tuck my shirt in, was I?
Oh, no.
I'm betting probably.
Either you're sick
I
or
don't
you're
care.
hitting puberty again.
I'm sick. I'm
Can
sick.
you do that?
No. That's
Can't hit
that's a
puberty
one-time
twice?
thing.
Yeah, one swing at puberty, and if you
Thank
miss,
God.
that's it?
That's it.
All right, well, no
I
hair
missed.
for you. All right. Welcome to Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That's the sickly Dr. Drew over
you.
here. Dr. Drew is a board-certified physician and addiction medicine specialist, yet he can do nothing to help himself. Diane Farr's over here. She's in perfect health. Look at her.
No medical degree.
That's what you call a prime. All right, what are we going to do tonight, Drew?
Audience, phone,
Uh-huh.
via TV phone. I may go to the audience. Audience member may come up here.
That's right.
Let's go to the phones.
And our guest
Oh, yes.
is Scott Baio.
Yes.
Please. Should, to those of you who don't know Scott Baio, he'll look familiar for those who are from planet Earth. When he shows up. Owned a TV or known anyone who's owned a TV in the last 30 years. Scott Baio will look familiar. All right. Relax back there, Baio. Tom is on the phone. Tom's 18. Tom?
Tom.
Yes. My girlfriend and I, we've been together for about 5 months, and last week after we had sex, she noticed that her clitoris was enlarged. It looked like a little penis, like the size of my pinky finger. And this was the first time she had an orgasm. Should I expect this to happen every time she has an orgasm?
Swollen like Fred Flintstone's thumb when he would hit it?
Yeah, exactly.
Drop a boulder on it or something? It didn't pulsate, did it?
No.
That's too bad.
Is she-
That'd be something. You knew you were doing your job. You were getting
If you get a
pulsations.
pulsating clitoris,
Yes.
yes. Oh, goody. I wouldn't imagine this would happen every time. This could happen probably from the movement.
Don't you
Okay.
think it's just her? How long have you been
think
with
it
her?
I've been with her for about 5 months.
And you been having sex regularly with her, and this didn't happen before?
No, this has never happened before.
I would imagine it was just the
Is
movement.
she on any medication?
No, nothing.
Because one way you can get enlarged clitoris is taking androgens, like steroids, that kind of thing, for bodybuilding or athletic activity.
The
Is it?
clitoris gets moody, I hear, as well
No,
on the steroids. Is
Yeah,
that true?
well, the whole being gets moody. Yes,
Starts lashing out,
Yes, indeed.
yelling at its folks.
Sometimes. But what I'm trying to explore here is whether this is really something abnormal or is just her. And there are tumors and things that can cause enlargement of the clitoris.
Yeah, but
There are
it went up and
medication
it
that
went
can do this.
down, right?
Yeah, it went
no,
down
but-
about after 4 hours.
Doesn't that area, I've never been with a woman, but doesn't blood flow to that
Yeah,
area
I mean,
and things get engorged?
That is effectively a penis. I mean, that's what that area is. We all start as women, and in men, that area evolves into a phallus, and in women, that's the clitoris. I mean, it's the same tissue.
Right.
Okay? But if somebody has something that is increasing their levels of androgens, male sex hormones, that area will enlarge, and it can be a medical issue. So, I mean, it's no big deal if it keeps growing. I mean,
How come
look
when
into it.
guys take the steroids, the penis shrinks, but when women takes it, they form a penis?
Because they've never been under the influence of androgens before.
But that really doesn't sound fair, does it?
No,
We're both
definitely
getting
not.
screwed. No
Yeah.
one should be on the juice now.
All right. Let's talk to another Tom.
Tom?
Hey, Dr. Drew, what's up?
Tom.
Okay, here's my problem. A few days ago, I got up from my desk at work to shake hands with a client, and I had this massive erection, and I was just so embarrassed. And it happened to me again, at church a few weeks ago, too, and It surprises me when it happens because I'm not thinking about sex, and I don't feel it getting hard. I have no warning whatsoever. And I haven't had sex for 4 years. I'm not going to until I get married, and I only masturbate probably once every 3 or 4 months. Well, self-control is pretty important to me.
I'm well into the thousands by
By the end of those 3 months?
Oh, yes, that's a cycle.
1,000
A quarter, yes.
I see.
Okay, and I don't want to take any drugs or anything to control this, but if I have to, I will. And what I want to know is how can I stop these erections from happening?
You can't.
This is so sad that this is a religious. Is it a religious reason why you don't want to masturbate?
Some, but it's as much self-control as anything else.
Well, there's self-control, and then there's beating yourself up for no reason.
How about self-mastery? You know, helping your body in such a way that you are able to control these impulses that you don't like. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
It's a biological thing that you would have an erection if you don't
Right.
release semen. It's not that you're doing something bad or you can't control yourself. It's like
That's just-
an anorexia victim trying not to eat because they want control
Right,
over their body.
exactly.
You're not doing yourself any good.
Well, I don't feel any guilt or anything. I know it's just part of my natural, the way my body functions and all that. It's just that I don't feel it happening when it comes on, and if I had some warning, I wouldn't have any problem
All
at
right,
all.
but let's get back to that question of why you're trying to master yourself this way.
right. Why do you need to do that? What's important about that?
Well, think about it. If you can abstain
I thought
from
about
sex,
it once when I was 13 and said, nah, I'm masturbating. I haven't thought about it since.
Okay, well, anyway, it's for my commitment to my lifelong mate. If you can demonstrate some sort of self-control before marriage, obviously your marriage is going to be stronger afterward.
No evidence of that, Tom.
Zero.
Yeah.
And self-control would mean not abstaining from masturbation, but abstaining from
Sex.
relationships.
Yeah,
and
relationship.
don't cheat on your wife when you're with her, after you get married or when you meet her. But this isn't really correlated. Would you
Right.
say?
I agree.
I mean, you might as well equate the amount of push-ups you can do every morning to self-mastery, self-control, and not cheating.
Right.
Just because it involves your penis doesn't mean it's the same thing.
Right.
This is an emotional commitment. We're talking about a physical function here.
There's
That's it.
nothing wrong with it.
And otherwise, there's nothing wrong with it. He's going to have to live with that if he chooses to continue the path he's
Yeah,
on.
No, I
everyone's
mean, there's nothing
confused.
wrong with his biology that he shouldn't feel guilt or.
The guy he sold the siding to at work is looking down at him going, it's just siding, buddy. I mean, I'm excited and the wife's happy, but not that excited. This guy's getting all the time. You gotta control yourself. And you have maintenance. Ah, yes. So it's almost time for me. Well, before I do, we got a guy who everyone knows, and I'm not going to say the thousands of shows he's been on, Scott Baio. Nice to meet you.
Chris Carter says hello.
Oh, good.
Oh wait, you got to tell him the best part of it though. Chris Hardwick did our
Oh,
show.
God, I said Chris Carter. It was a friend of ours that we have in common. Chris Hardwick was on the show.
The
Yes.
last
And I was
day.
directing a show of his that showed guys like us, and it was, why are we bringing up depression?
No, it's okay.
I didn't bring it up.
No, he
she
was
did.
canceled
Oh,
the next
okay.
day
Sorry.
after he
Yeah,
took
this
off.
show's the kiss of death. Believe me, you're lucky we didn't have the show around when Happy Days just started.
That's
because it would
right.
have went on,
Would
would have
have
made it
been off the
half
air.
a season.
Absolutely.
You directed Diane in a pilot, or what
Yeah,
project was that?
It was a pilot called, I think it's called Love Hurts now. And it's actually it's like an independent pilot that we did. And Diane was in it, and it's a story about, this couple getting married and all the crap they put up with and sex and stuff like that. And it's kind of funny, actually. She's great to work with.
Really? Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't get rid of her. Oh, please, we're kidding. We try not to talk outside of the set, though. But is that what you want to do now, is directing the way? I mean, if you, just for fun here, you started off on TV like on a Ovaltine spot in 1947 or
Right,
something.
exactly.
And
It's
have
46,
not left the TV since.
Thank you.
I mean, have you? I mean, how many years?
I'd say, honestly, at one point I was on, I think, 19 years in a row. And then I took a year off, and then I did 2 more years.
But the year off, it's still everything you've done in the 19 years prior to that is so heavily syndicated that taking a year off and being on 5 times a night.
Well, it's a strange thing, you know. I'll tell you why. Because I could turn the television on at literally any time, day or night, 3 in the morning, and catch myself at these strange ages, the puberty thing, and when the voice is changing, then I'll see something else when I'm like in my mid-30s, and it would like an hour later. So it's pretty weird.
But you, I know, if you could imagine, Drew, if your life was chronicled that way, you'd kill yourself.
Yes.
If anyone's seen Drew's junior high pictures, you'd know why he'd kill himself. But Scott, you were smart. You remained consistent. You see, I mean, basically, well, Scott looks the same as he did 20 years ago.
Over that.
Well, I don't get the same.
I can do about that.
All right, but here's what I'm saying. You didn't have a disco phase.
You just
did not have the grunge phase.
No,
You know what I mean? You didn't have hair down to here feather, then you'd have a perm, then you just had the Scott Baio look the entire time.
I think because I was always on a show and I couldn't really, and by the way, I'm a fairly conservative guy and stuff like that. This is about as dressy as it gets for me. The hair might get a little longer from time to time, but my whole life I've always been a pretty simplistic.
I'm saying very smart.
But
that's
thank
Scott
you.
Baio.
Okay.
There's no weird pictures from '78 that you got to make fun of where he looks like the 9th member of Leonard Skinner.
I don't know about this.
Adam keeps coaching me. Get your kids the haircut they're going to wear the rest of their life.
There you go.
Decide on it now.
And just put it in.
Cut it every 10 minutes.
Go to the oven. Easy bake oven.
Eve is 19 and standing in the easy bake oven over there. Right. Eve?
Hi. Recently, I was waiting at my girlfriend's house for her to get out of work, and I was talking to her mother, just a normal conversation. Then she started asking me questions about my sexuality and said she'd always been curious about having, a same-sex relationship, and that she was always really cool with it. And I started to think that things weren't exactly right at that point, and she did. She leaned over and kissed me, and we had sex.
Your friend's mother?
My girlfriend's mother, yes.
Girlfriend as in lover?
Yes.
Oh, so you were
that?
with the daughter sexually.
Yes.
And then
Now you're
the
with
mom.
the mom.
Why'd you do that?
It just, I didn't stop it when it happened.
Why?
I didn't really think about it at that point until we were like into it, and I thought about it, and I just still didn't stop.
No, that's hard for me to accept.
Where was your friend?
She was at work. I was waiting for her to come home from work.
Why doesn't immediately, wouldn't you be thinking about your friend
Why is this not
instantly?
a boundary for you?
Why isn't that an issue?
That's the question.
Well, I look back at it now, and it is a boundary
No,
for me.
Eve, forget about looking back at it now. I mean, if somebody's mom, the mother of the person you're involved with, approaches you sexually, I mean, you would be all sorts of amazing feelings and violation would come up, as opposed to feeling nothing, not even aware of what you're doing, and just go right on into it.
So obviously she was turned on, I guess.
I think obviously something happened to Eve long ago that blew through these boundaries and made it her victim, a potential victim.
Can I ask you a
like
question?
this.
Isn't like the sex drive in us so unbelievably powerful that it overcomes logic and
it does once it gets going, but we have logic at the beginning. We can stop things at the beginning. I mean, if you don't want to have if you're married, you don't want to have an affair, don't put yourself in a position where you're likely to start some sort of ball rolling. If somebody comes on to you, you stop it then, not when you're unclothed in a bedroom, because you're not going to stop it then.
Well, and also boundaries. I mean, this is your lover's mom, and it's in their house, and I agree with both of you. Yes, libido is a powerful
force.
Yeah. Lord knows. But Drew's right too, and we would predict that something's up with Eve in terms of
somebody having
some boundary difficulty.
It's basically nothing is up. I made a mistake. I cheated on my girlfriend, and it happened to be with her.
Where's it at now? I mean, what's going on now?
Well, I told her what happened. I told my girlfriend what happened because she was going to find out anyway, and I just.
Why was she going to find out anyway?
Well, I mean, things come out, and I didn't want her to find out from someone else or from her mother. I would rather her hear it from me.
Her mother, unless she is totally psychotic, would never tell her daughter.
Did they have a parrot or something? I mean, who's going to tell? Can parrots even say lesbian? I think that's too many syllables.
Is her mother married?
Pardon?
Is her mother still married?
No.
But please ask the right question.
All right, let me ask the question so we can get to the truth about Eve and her situation. Let's see.
She's not going to let you have it the easy way.
Don't make me come back there. How old were you when you lost your virginity?
14, I think.
How old was the guy?
16.
60. And where's your dad?
My father, he's at home.
You guys get along?
Sometimes.
All right. Any alcoholism in the family?
Yeah, on my mother's side.
Uh-huh. How's she?
We don't have a very strong relationship.
And when did you realize you were into women?
I think I can remember being in kindergarten getting in trouble for trying to kiss all the girls. So.
Drew's spidey sense is tingling now. Any before 14? Any physical contact? Anybody do anything to you that they shouldn't have done?
No.
Pierre.
Peers.
Pierre.
Yeah, Drew wants to know about the. Did you say Pierre?
Pierre.
French
Pierre.
guy feel ya? Oh, yeah.
Other-
Felt up on a pier?
Kindergarten.
No. Another person your age when you were young, 5, 6-year-old?
No.
Give you a little goosing?
No.
All right. So alcoholic mom.
And somehow abusive dad.
What?
Yeah.
what-
Just because, why is my father somehow abusive? My father's not abusive.
Because you get along with him sometimes, and he was married to an alcoholic.
I said alcoholism was on my mother's side. I didn't say she was an alcoholic.
Eve, you could be perfect. You're just fine. You called with the question. He's trying to figure out what's wrong. It's not. We're
Let
trying
me
to
be
make
very
fun of
clear. Without some significant pathology in your family system, you never would have done this, period. Okay? So we just need to figure out what that pathology is so your denial about it might somehow be lessened so you can begin to deal with these issues and establish boundaries more appropriately so you don't get into these horrible situations again.
Plus, the fact that you chose a partner whose mom would do this means your partner's got to be in bad shape. I mean, this is her mom, for sake.
Yes.
She can't be a healthy girl.
Yeah.
Not her fault. She was raised by this witch, this horny witch, by the way. And if you got to be a witch, might as well be a horny one. But please, there's something terribly wrong here.
Did she say
all
it happened
parties,
once or more
all
than once?
parties
Doesn't matter.
Once.
involved. All right,
Just
so
once.
the relationship's over, right?
Yeah, she basically wished me down the spot when I told her.
Okay.
Sure.
All right, so have another one and don't screw it up this time.
And especially if your childhood was perfect as you described
Right,
it.
you have no excuse for screwing it up.
That's right. But there is something there, and look long and hard at the kinds of injuries you suffered as a child at the hands of your parents. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
All right. Andy is now on the phone. Andy? Drew, you want to
There we go.
bring Andy up? Andy?
Hi, my roommate and I have been living together since September, and I felt like I knew the guy pretty well. He comes from a strict religious background, and about a month ago, I discovered that he's been going all over the state seeing married women. He's into the swinging lifestyle. He answers ads and does stuff like that, and I'm concerned because he has a girlfriend, and she doesn't know. And I'm wondering if I should tell her about this.
No.
So he thinks he's going out of state and bringing in venereal diseases and stuff and giving it to his girlfriend?
Potentially. He practices safe sex, but I mean, how safe is that?
You want to tell the friend.
Excuse me?
No, he wants to tell the girlfriend.
He wants to tell
I
the
think.
girlfriend.
Right, and he doesn't feel like he should tell her.
Well, it seems to me like it's his business, what he does. Or
No,
doesn't.
it isn't. But we're going to take a break.
Yeah.
Drew will go to the audience, and then we'll have a little round table on Andy.
If you have questions for Loveline, you can call us 24 hours a day. 323-520-LOVE. Long distance charges may apply.
More Loveline with the Kitty Scott Baio.
That's really
You
funny.
know him from the TV set. And, of course, Diane Fox. So, when we left off, we were speaking to Andy. Andy's 21, he's got a roommate who's semi-religious, but not so religious that it gets in the way of him going cross-country and banging around with married chicks. And then comes home, and he's got a girlfriend, and Andy wants to know whether to rat him out to the girlfriend or not. And we were talking during the break, what's in it for Andy? I mean, why get yourself in between these two?
I'm concerned about her safety. That's the biggest thing. I mean, it kind of disgusts me that he would have a girlfriend and that believes that he's being faithful and he's lying to her. And,
Has anybody ever done anything like that to you?
not really, no.
Do you like this girl?
I'm really not attracted to her.
What's the nature of your relationship with your roommate?
We're good friends. We're pretty close.
But see, first thing he said was you worry about the health factor, and then the second thing he says it disgusts you.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? So one is a physical thing and one's a moral thing, and I think the fact you're disgusted by this behavior is a little more what's motivating you than the physical health aspect of it.
Are you attracted to the guy?
Do you what?
Are you attracted to the guy?
No.
What's the safety thing? What is your problem with what's the problem with that?
He could bring home venereal diseases to her.
You said he wears a condom though.
Right.
He still could bring some home.
But,
Yeah,
I mean,
I
when
know,
you
but yeah.
But when you
Andy-
practice like oral sex with,
Right.
things like that, you can
Andy,
do
are
it.
you a religious guy?
Actually, I'm not religious at all.
Andy, do you have lots of girlfriends?
I have one girlfriend.
Do you have a girlfriend?
Yes.
Have you had a lot of experiences with women?
I've been sexually active for about the past 4 years.
And that's been a decent experience for you? You've not been frustrated by it?
I've been happy with that.
Okay.
I'm going with the
All right.
21 wants to save the world.
All right, let's not
All right.
pick on poor Andy too
Well,
much.
we're exploring what the negatives are. If they're all negative, all right, fine. Let's hear from the audience.
Something else going on.
I think that you should talk to your roommate and tell him that he needs to talk to his girlfriend and end it, or you need to settle this with him if you're going to be living with him. If it
So you're
distresses you
suggesting
that
just be
much.
honest with him and try to get him to be honest with her?
Yeah, you're also saying that you're very close friends with him.
Right.
You know, you should be able to speak to him about it. It is
Yeah.
his life and her life.
And he should have some ability to respect how his behavior affects your feelings if it's really about your disgust of his behavior. One more opinion.
Yeah, I think you should just, mind your own business. Don't say anything because it'll all blow up in your face, any way you look at it, because your friend will get mad at you or the girl will get mad at you. You should just let it happen and just mind your own business.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
Scott didn't get where he is today by getting in everyone's face.
I what?
See, you didn't get where you are today by confronting everyone who came along.
Stand straight.
Okay, Andy, talk to him and tell him
Right.
either you clean it up or out of
Or I'm going to
fear
tell him.
of
Right.
Or I'm going to tell him.
move
or I
on.
will tell. Okay, fine. Let's talk to Caleb, I'm guessing. Caleb?
Hi, yeah. Me and this guy have been best friends since grade school, and one time he told me that he had messed around with a guy before. And, because he's my best friend, I just kind of brushed it off, and I thought it was cool and everything. And then I started kind of finding myself attracted to him and stuff, and I would kind of check him out in the showers at football practice.
Are you gay?
Yeah, I am.
You're gay. All right.
Yeah.
You
And then,
kicker?
One night about 3 weeks ago.
He's no linebacker.
Come on. Caleb, go ahead.
And then one night about 3 weeks ago, we ended up messing around, having oral sex, and I made the mistake of telling one of my friends about it, and they told the entire school, and now nobody at school looks at me the same, and my best friend won't talk to me anymore, and I want to know what I should do about this.
You know what? Forgive me.
What?
I don't believe
You don't
Caleb.
believe it?
No. But I'll tell you what.
Totally because of football.
But I'll tell you what.
You're going to find two guys on the
Here's
team.
why I don't believe it, is he's describing an absolutely devastating circumstance. I mean, think about this. He's lost all his friends. He's come out in a way that he didn't want to come out. I mean, this is heavy stuff. Now, if he's just so detached from these feelings or isn't expressing them now, I apologize. So let's talk about this, assuming it's true.
Okay.
Why don't we talk to him and sweat him a little bit?
Because it's an important thing that other young males do go through things like this, and I think it is an extremely important issue to take seriously.
Well, let's see if we can get the truth out of
the
it.
highest we can after I finish. All right, the highest
Could be in an hour.
highest incidence of completed suicide is in homosexual adolescent males. They have a lot of depression, a lot of self-loathing, a lot of difficulty dealing with this, and when it becomes public like that and they lose all their friends, that is devastation. So I want to be sure, Caleb, if this is a truthful experience, or anyone else who might be experiencing this, that they start feeling depressed or self-destructive, that they take it very seriously and get help. And just to help them alleviate the symptoms, get in touch with a gay and lesbian youth center in your area. Most major centers, I would say all major cities have them now, and get a support network of people who will care for you so you can get some support as you go through this transition. You're going to be out of there soon anyway. Presumably he's in high school, but you can sweat him now. All right.
Caleb?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. After this happened, I went and saw a psychiatrist, and he gave me medication. He put me on Prozac.
Right.
But now still, I don't know what to tell the people at school. They're just constantly ragging on me, and it's really terrible.
Where'd you have oral sex with him?
At my house.
I'm sweating him a little.
Yeah, go
what
ahead.
color is the carpet?
It's green.
Green?
Yeah.
Big penis or small penis?
Whose?
I don't know.
This was the first sexual experience you had with a man?
Yeah.
And this is your best friend?
Yeah.
And how long have you been best friends with him?
Grade school.
And why did it take so long for something to happen?
I have no idea. I mean, I've always kind of had a little crush on him and stuff, but not until he told me that he messed around with another guy did I think I should try anything.
All right. And you told other friends of yours?
Yeah, just one person, but that person ended up telling everybody.
Yeah.
Well, if this is a true scenario, Caleb, everybody
No, I
has a
believe
different
it.
coming out story and where they go with their life. You're going to be fine. You're going to grow up and be a big, strong man. There
But
is
take this very
nothing-
seriously. I mean, this is
This is horrendous. This is the same thing that happens to a girl who's the first one in their high school to sleep with a boy, and everyone finds out, and her reputation is destroyed until she leaves.
Do you think she loses friends, or people abandon her as a result?
Pretty cathartic for Diane.
Shut up.
We should get a Kleenex box out here. Tell us about those days.
All right, but again, more than just seeing. I'm glad you saw somebody have some professional supervision, but make sure you develop a network of peers who've been through this to support you, because this can precipitate
How
a
old is
serious
he, 18?
depression. He's 18.
He's 18 years old. That's high school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll
I'll
be.
tell you, boy, it's you know, I went to high school for a minute, and there was a situation like this,
Oh yeah.
and it is the roughest. Two guys in the school were doing something, and I'm telling. This was in Brooklyn. I don't know where's he from, Texas, and it was the roughest year of these guys' lives.
Oh, I bet.
I mean, they were.
Oh.
I hate to say it, but they were beaten up, they were persecuted, they were ridiculed, everything under the sun. So I mean, and if it is, again, like it is true, it's rough. I mean,
And that's
it's a
why
rough
we say,
thing.
by the way, if you're 17, 16, 15, 18, you're in school, you're involved with this or pursuing this lifestyle, keep it under your belt.
Absolutely.
For now. Don't be ashamed of yourself, but just don't say anything. People are cruel, especially in Texas. Texas is like Brooklyn West. Really.
You're right.
And you're going to get your ass kicked. It's sad, but it's true.
You are.
And there's nothing that you
pathetic.
need to say to these people that's going to turn them around.
That's pathetic.
All right, let's move on. Ajay. Ajay?
So sad.
Hi, yes. My boyfriend, he has this fantasy of masturbating between my breasts, and the only problem is I have no breasts for him to masturbate with. I'm barely an A cup.
You got to turn over.
I have a friend. He's gay, and he receives estrogen shots, and his cleavage makes my breasts look like mosquito bites. So what I want to know is, if I receive estrogen shots, can my boyfriend masturbate with my breasts, and I can satisfy his curiosity?
We're going to take a break. If you have a party, don't invite me. I'm not interested. We got the small breast over here, the guy's whacking off over there, and the gay guy with the estrogen shot over here. We'll take a little break, and then we'll come back, Ajay. Ajay.
Hi, I'm not Matt LeBlanc, I'm not Kyle MacLachlan, I'm not Matthew Broderick, and I'm not K.D. Lang either. I am John Fugelsang of America's Funniest Home Videos on ABC. You're watching Loveline, the only show that matters.
You can email us your questions at loveline3@aol.com. Please include your phone number.
Oh, wow. I hate when the show breaks up a good conversation between me and Drew. Scott Baio is our guest tonight. Ajay.
All right, Ajay, you have this delusion that somebody's going to give you hormones and grow your breast, right?
I don't know.
All
I
right.
never know.
If it were that simple, the whole issue of implants would not be
an issue,
right? People wouldn't get breast implants if they could just take a pill or take shots and magically have breasts grow. Now, estrogens do, in some women, increase breast size. That's why some women, when they go on the birth control pill that have higher doses of estrogen, do increase their breast size. So that is one way that possibly it could happen. But to take pure estrogen is dangerous. It can cause liver tumors, uterine cancer. It's a mess. You don't want to do that. So it would not be an option.
What about when a guy takes estrogen like your friend?
It's risky.
Where does he get
They don't
the
take huge
estrogen?
doses. These guys that do the sexual conversions.
Does a
God
doctor
bless 'em.
prescribe that for him?
What's that?
Does a doctor prescribe that for him? Or how does he get that?
I suspect so. I know a lot of them get it down in Mexico. But again, you would be taking estrogen on top of estrogen, right?
Right.
You already have plenty of circulating estrogen around. You'd be getting even more. For the guy, he doesn't have any. He's just getting an abnormal amount for him as a male.
And why are you so worried about your breast size? Is it you feel uncomfortable or you feel like your boyfriend doesn't like them?
Well, I've been uncomfortable with my breasts for years. I mean, it's a point where I was in school and I watched all my girlfriends blossom, but I kind of like stayed the same, you know, so I feel as though I'm like the same size.
Well, you may not be done yet either. You may not be fully blossomed. It changes
possible.
for different people at different times. It'll change with your weight. It'll change with pregnancy.
The tide
It'll
sometimes has an
change with
effect, doesn't
whatever.
it?
And I know you have strong feelings against surgery, but surgery is an option. A lot of women get that procedure
For a
done.
19-year-old,
I thought I was done growing. I thought 19, my puberty was done. And
21.
It's like, I'm out of luck.
Some women up to 21 still get some breast development.
I think
so.
Adam
but her
had the
breast
best idea.
sizes can change her whole life, though,
That's
depending
true.
on her weight and everything
That's
else.
true.
I'm only 106 pounds.
Then you know what? There's 100 women running around the planet wishing they were 106 pounds. Enjoy that and stop worrying about your breasts.
That's right.
Yeah, you get on it.
I agree with Diane. Enjoy your ass and stop focusing on the breast.
I agree
That's
with
really
Adam.
what that is. And let me tell you, I talked to Drew, but he's not a man. So I'll talk to Scott. Most guys enjoy nice breasts, but not heaving huge bosoms. And they much prefer a nice rear end and legs. I'm a breast man. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But look at some of the most beautiful supermodel types. When I was at a party a week ago, I saw Brooke Shields there. She doesn't have large breasts at all. She has fairly small breasts, yet has been held up as poster girl and a model for 20 years. So believe me, guys are attracted to women who don't have large breasts. Not me, but other guys, and not Scott either.
No, I mean, I'm an ass man, definitely.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
I happen to like curvaceous women,
Right.
voluptuous women. So that to me is both. But if it's a toss up between breasts or an ass, I take the ass.
You take the ass. I go A too. Drew, you ready to put
He's
you
a
down?
face guy.
Can we put you down for an ass or half an ass and half a breast? Yeah.
Let's go to the
Oh,
VFC.
that's
Punching
really
bag.
funny, guys. Yeah.
Let's watch the girls with the big breasts. All right, John's on the TV phone. John,
Yes.
where are you in Lebanon? Where are you at?
I'm in New Orleans.
New Orleans. All
Yes. I've been single for about a year now, and I find myself opting to masturbate instead of actually pursuing a sexual encounter. And I would just basically like to know if it's something that I should be worried about, or is it perfectly normal, or?
Well, it's a normal way to avoid relationships and to avoid vulnerability and to avoid being hurt. Have you had trouble in relationships in the past?
Yeah, in a few, yeah.
Yeah, so you're sort of hurt more than you can tolerate, and now you're turning inward.
Yeah,
So it may be a regrouping process. Maybe you'll sort of move out of this phase on your own, but it's something to pay attention to. I mean, it's time to get back in, and it's like anything else that's frightening and overwhelming. You've got to go back into the ring, and until you do, it's not going to be a very happy time.
Well, how long's it been? How long a layoff? Part of the fun.
A year.
That's good, though. About a year?
Yeah, about a year.
A year's a good amount of time to spend on your own. You're probably ready to
And
go.
by the way, during that year, when people take time out from a relationship, it's important to sort of examine your feelings and be alone.
Right.
But when you masturbate, you move away from any of those feelings. Now you're into masturbation, and you don't give yourself an opportunity to think about yourself and what you're feeling and what you want.
Well, right,
So,
I don't want to keep doing that, I want to...
well, stop. Right? If you can't stop,
Right.
then we have a different problem. But see if you can't stop and start getting back into the scene.
Well, let's slow down.
Have you
know?
been
Yeah,
with other women since you broke up with this girl?
No.
Nothing.
No, nothing.
You probably at a point where you need to connect.
I can't imagine that for a minute. What kind of hell is that?
universe is he living in? I've been laying a year. Could you imagine that?
Yeah, then I think, John, it is time to go and make some type of a bond. Even if it doesn't work out or it does, it's going to become more and more frightening to go and talk to that girl and talk to that woman.
And just some quick questions. Are you alcoholic? Is there alcoholism in your family?
No,
And
no alcoholic.
You've had no other sexual compulsions and things that have created consequences in your life?
Say that again?
Any other sexual compulsions or sexual behaviors that have created consequences?
No.
All right, then, as Diane says.
Yeah.
Follow that
and
direction.
slow down on the masturbation because you lose the eye of the tiger.
That's right.
You don't go out. You got to be hungry. Remember how Tyson was before he got rich? Greatest fighter in the world, right?
Right.
Give him a few Cadillacs, a few Tigers, a few Harley Davidsons, a few mansions. All of a sudden, he starts slowing down a little bit. He's beatable now. He had the eye of the tiger.
Yeah.
He was hungry. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was hungry at his last fight.
Guys. Finally earning some of that pay, everybody. Guy needs that.
Yeah.
All right.
Although women hate that. Right?
Lord knows I'm not about to try that. But Brad.
Hello?
What's going on?
Nothing much.
All righty. Okay.
When I was 10, I dated a 15-year-old girl, and that lasted for like 6 years. Now I have been dating a 14-year-old girl for a month, and I know I love her, and I don't think it's wrong, even though I know it's illegal. The problem is we haven't told her parents. What should we do?
All right. This is.
He's 18 and she's 14?
He was 10 dating a 15-year-old?
What state is he in? Ohio?
Ohio.
Drew, you have those age of consent things broken down in
He
your
said
head?
he knows it's illegal, so
Oh,
let's assume
okay.
that's true.
All right, Brad. The soul music means it's time to go to a break. We'll be back with more Soul Train after this.
If you have a question for Loveline, you can call us 24 hours a day. 323-520-LOVE. Long distance charges may apply.
I missed the cue. I'm looking at her.
More Loveline with
Just now.
Scott Baio and Brad, who's on the phone. Brad, when he was 10, was dating a 15-year-old.
Yeah, bizarre. That's bizarre.
That is a little bizarre. That's a weird 5 years.
You know what that
right
is?
there.
That's 5th grade and 10th grade. That's huge.
But now he's flipped it, right? Now he's
Now he's
18
gone down to
going out with a
6th grader.
14-year-old.
Well, 9th grader.
Ninth grader.
Yeah, which is not the greatest. Although Brad's got the dialect for it. Brad?
Yes?
How'd you meet the 14-year-old?
School.
Where?
School.
School. She was in the 9th grade. You're a senior?
Yes.
So that's why they shouldn't do that.
Are you sleeping with her?
No.
Okay. There's no laws against dating.
We haven't done that yet.
Well, why don't you not do that? Plan on not doing that if you want to stay on the right side of the law, particularly. All right? How do you think her parents are going to react to this?
I don't know.
Are you still a senior in high school?
I just think they're going to freak out.
Yes.
I would. Believe me.
Drew, anybody, any age with a penis comes near your daughter, you're freaking.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So it doesn't really matter what age you are.
No, I extra freak.
Extra freak.
Is this girl look older than she is?
Yes.
She looks like
about 16, 17.
I mean, she's developed and she's a great looking girl and
Doesn't
makeup
matter.
and the whole thing.
Yeah. It ain't really the look, though.
What?
It ain't really the look for me, though.
What?
It don't matter how she looks.
That's not the look. Well, no, I don't know if
It's her personality.
Yeah. Yeah, originally. It was her
Why
personality.
do you think, Brad, you get into these strange relationships?
I don't know. All my life I've always dated older women, and a lot older.
Yeah.
And now it's just.
Well,
hold on. What were you doing with the 15-year-old when you were 10?
I lost my virginity when I was 10.
To the 15-year-old?
Yes.
What did he say?
He lost his virginity at 10, is what he's saying.
Okay, so that's sexual abuse. That's not losing one's virginity. That's a 10-year-old doesn't really even have sexual functioning. All right, it's pre-puberty.
Yeah, this is all kind of weird. Brad?
Yes.
You okay?
I'm fine.
Did anybody
He's
was
laughing.
anybody
Yeah, well,
with you
I don't
before
buy it.
you were
I
10?
don't buy it.
No way. People don't laugh about stuff like this.
Yeah.
Wait, you laugh about getting laid when you're 10?
Go.
Brad, why are you laughing?
I'm not. I'm just a little nervous. I don't know.
Brad,
I don't believe him. Nah, he was laughing.
He was definitely laughing. His
All
buddies,
right.
his buddies are sitting right next to him.
Brad, here's the deal, and here's the way we treat the show, because people ask us all the time, hey, is this called bogus? Is that called bogus? We don't know. We don't know what the calls are.
We do have a sense
Would
of
you quiet down, Drew?
All right.
We don't care. The deal is whether Brad is dating a 14-year-old or not, or whether he dated a 15-year-old when he was 10, somewhere out there.
There's this.
And the 24 people that are watching the show every night, one of them is 18 and is going out with a 14-year-old, and that's who we're talking to.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's not Brad, or maybe it is Brad, but the point is we will discuss these topics, whether it's bogus or not, because they're real issues that could potentially happen to somebody. Is that all right, Drew?
It's certainly more effective when it's real, because that's what other people are going through this are drawn in by, is other people's experiences. And I think Brad is doing other people a disservice if indeed he's making this up. But fact is, again, he was abused sexually by an adolescent who probably themselves have been sexually abused, which is why she needed to be with a prepubescent child. And as a result of that, he's having difficulty making appropriate choices for relationships and maintaining the usual boundaries. Dates now a 14-year-old. God knows he's planning to have sex with her. There are going to be consequences. He is hurting the young girl potentially. That's why those laws are in place.
Oh, can you imagine getting laid at 10, though, Drew?
No.
What do you do afterward? You smoke one of those fake cigarettes where the little powder comes out at the end? And
The gum cigarettes.
You unwind with a near beer and a gum cigarette. Watch a little Kukla, Fran, and Ollie and just reflect on the 4th grade. Boy. Oh, my God. All right, Drew, hold that book up. That is our book. That is our way of promoting our book. We are now going to give this book to the fabulous Scott Baio. He's going to use it to stop his dining room table from rocking back and forth. Like he needs advice from us. Scott Baio, give him a hand, everybody.
Thank you.
Look for Scott Baio everywhere all the time. And until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew and Diane Farr saying mahalo.
Loveline is a Stone Stanley production. Yeah. Cool.